How you guys doing today? Good? Well, thanks for coming to the question and answers today. I appreciate you guys being here. You all Power Ranger fans? All right. Just want to make sure y'all not in the wrong room. Well, it's not a room, but you know what I mean. This is Shayla Frank. She's never been here before, my daughter, so she's going to sit up here and stuff like that. You can't ask her questions. She might reveal some of the stuff that, you know, I do. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I heard some good news that the 5-Hour Energy is being sponsored by these people. I love that. So I got a couple hours right here. There we go. They don't quite last 5 hours. Sorry if there's any 5-hour representatives here. Sorry. Well, I'd like to get started today. I know you're all shy. I'd like to start with some questions and answers. Don't be too shy. You can raise your hand. And Green Ranger back over there. Yes, the Green Ranger. Another Green Ranger and then 2 Green Rangers. All right. Good deal. Well, we should start with some questions and answers. Look at you guys all quiet. No questions and answers? Yes. First of all, you all Facebook fans on the J State Frank official fan page? Official fan page? All right. Good deal. Yes, you had a question back there. Oh, it's hard to hear. When I first started Power Rangers, that I was going to think this is going to be this popular. When I watched the pilot, honestly, I really thought, like, I don't know, when I auditioned for the Green Ranger, I didn't really know what I was going for. So I thought it was like a Forest Ranger, you know, like that, or like a Texas Ranger, or something like that. I didn't know it was going to be that popular, but when I saw it, it was like kind of cheesy. And then I really thought that kids like cheese, you know? They eat cheese sticks, they like cheese sandwiches, so I thought it was going to be really awesome. So my brother who passed away, but my brother played my brother on the show, David Trueheart. And so he played my brother. So when I showed my brother the show, he said, "Oh, dude, this stinks. This is never going to air on TV." So all my hopes went out. I was like, "Look at this, dude." And he's just like, "What the hell is that?" I was like, and then, you know, make it grow. Just weird stuff was going on. But the pilot was pretty cool because they were able, I was thinking of his name, Austin, I forgot his name. Austin Saint, the Red Ranger, whatever his name is. He was in the pilot and he got to kick the bad guys in the face, so I thought that was pretty cool. Then when I started the show, I wanted to kick people in the face, but that didn't happen. Only monsters. I couldn't kick regular people in the face. Yep. I was like so sad. And when I started the show, I was, you know, because my Kias are like, son, like that. Well, when I started the show, I looked too mean, so they told me I needed to smile when I fought, so I was like, like that. And then when I went to Dino Thunder, I'm not going to lie, I went to Dino Thunder, I got a memo under my door from the executive producers saying, please don't cuss when you're on TV. And I said, what do you mean? He says, you're saying shit, like that. And I'm really not saying like, shit. I wasn't saying that, I was key-eyeing. So I got a memo and I had to clear it up. So then after I got the memo, I started going, shit, bullshit. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe just for one episode, but other than that, I kind of was watching what I was saying, so, yep. So to answer your question, did I think it was going to be popular? I was hoping we did more than like 5 shows or more than, 10 shows, but I was only contracted for 10, so to be honest, I didn't care if it went past 10. I was like, I'm just going to do my 10, I'm only contracted for 10, so who cares? No, but then I did more episodes afterwards. I'll take you, then I'll take the Green Ranger next, yes. Oh, lasting friends, like people I talk to now? Well, I talk to all of them, most of them. I just talked to Catherine and Nakia at the last convention. Saw Paul Schreier play Bulk. I haven't seen him in a long time. Love Jason Narvey. I'm trying to think who. Walter. I'm not being mean, no, for real. I talked to the only people I do not talk to is Amy Jo now because she don't return emails. She's big time, and Kimberly. And I really haven't spoke to Austin because I know he's traveling and stuff like that. So haven't really talked to him. Other than that, I talked to pretty much everyone. Johnny Bosch. I mean, me and him are pretty close. So we're supposed to work on something together, me and Johnny. I know it's not that Blue Sun, it's something else that we're working on. So I just talked to him not too long ago. Okay, Green Ranger, and then I'll take the guy way, way in the back. Yes. That was whenever you listen to Johnny Bosch, who's listened to Johnny Bosch before in a panel? Adam the Black Ranger. Don't believe one thing he says. Okay, don't believe him. No, just doing the movie, you know, I was practicing backflips on the tree and stuff like that. And it's a palm tree, and you got to commit to your backflips, like no matter what. If you're going backwards, you have to commit to it. So the palm tree has those steps, so I kind of overshot the steps, and he said he was going to spot me, but he never did. He just I went boom, and then I went right on my face in the movie, and I thought I broke my teeth and split my face open and all that. So it's kind of sucky on Johnny's part that he didn't spot me. So I owe him. Yep. Okay, way in the back there, I'm probably not going to hear you, so what we're going to have to do is translate the question, so make sure we don't translate the question wrong. You know when you tell someone a secret, and then by the time it gets back to you, you're like, what'd you say, dude? And it was nothing like that. You all have friends that talk stuff, you know what I mean? All right, so we're going to have to translate because I can't hear. Translate to the closest person in the front. Oh, when I started the show, did I not pull punches? Yeah, when I started the show, yeah, I had a welcome to Hollywood. I don't know. I was a karate guy, so I don't know how Hollywood worked. I was just punching people, and they're like, "Dude, come on, this is Hollywood." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I don't know how. I was a fighter. I trained, and then Hollywood, and then Hollywood became so easy. Like, you know, you don't really need to fight, and you make more money that way. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, kind of pull punches, only sometimes. You know the guy on the bird, and I'll mention this though. You know, because it's funny. The Power Ranger movie. You know when I did that jump spinning sidekick to the bird that was coming down. You remember that? It looked real. That's because it was real. That was real. I don't know his name because he was in the bird suit. But when he was flying down, he would hit a target. He would hit his line, and then I'll hit my line, and then I did a jump spinning sidekick, and I pulled my punches at the time. So I pulled the punches and kept pulling the kick. Finally, he took his bird suit off. "Come on, mate, you need to kick me. I don't feel this. You blah, 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 blah." And I was like, all right, I guess. He's like, "Just kick me. Kick me hard, mate." All right. So when he came down, he overshot the line, and I did a jump spinning sidekick. Watch the movie in slow motion. It hits him in the chin. So I hit him, boom, and he was hanging on the wires. And they said, "Cut." And I was like, "Shit, is that hard enough?" But yeah, that was my funny story. That was funny. But anyway. I am Iron Man. Yeah. Yes. I don't want any trouble. Yes. What was my favorite scene as the Green Ranger? I think when I was talking to Amy or Kimberly, when I'm like, "You," whatever the line was, I kind of forgot, but I'm like, whatever it was, like, whatever. I was like white, you know, they had like the Edward makeup on me, and I was, "You will," something like that. Well, I was like lifting weights or something, and then I was like, "You," and I forgot the line. Don't ask me that, I don't know. But that was my favorite scene. You know, what is it? "You and the other Power Rangers will soon be destroyed." Yes, that was it. It all came back. Like 20 years later. Roar! Yes. What was it like on MTV Undressed? Pretty cold. I had my clothes off most of the time. Interesting story about MTV Undressed. No one really asked that story, but I did the audition. If you notice that girl on MTV Undressed, who she is, right? Yeah, Allison, who played the yellow, I guess. I don't know. I just knew she was the Yellow Ranger after she did that show. So when I did MTV Undressed, I ate shellfish, so I broke out with like hives on my hands, and I was sick. And when I get sick, I get stressed out. And I remember calling my manager at the time, and I was like 4 in the morning on the floor, and I had to film. Well, back it up. When I went to the audition, I didn't really want to do it, so I read it, and I was like, that audition sucked. So I called my manager, like, "How'd it go?" I said, "I don't like that audition. It just sucked." And they're like, "Hold on, we got another call." And then she came back and said, "You booked the show." And I was like, you know when you want something, when you don't want it, you get it. And when you want something, you don't get it. That's how it was. So I started thinking about that. I don't need that. I don't want it. And then, you know, you get it. All right, so when I did the show, I had I broke out with hives and stuff like that on before, and I was on the floor like 4 in the morning. Yeah, Green Ranger. I was like, I can't do this audition. I can't. So then I went to do the audition, and then the first scene that I ever had was when we were like kissing in the hallway, and it was just nerve-wracking. She's never filmed before, so she thought that was real, but that ain't real. That's Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's on the clothes. And then it was like, I had her picked up in the cut, and boom, dropped on the table. She's like, cut, move on. Next thing, you know, I was real professional. But, yeah, I just saw all those pictures out there, you know, like whatever. But, yeah, that was MTV Undressed in my boxers most of the time. I'll pick your question. How long have I been the Black Ranger? What? Oh, black belt. Well, as you can see, I got a black belt now. You can buy these black belts anywhere you like. I've been a black belt since I was 12. I was telling my son the other day, my instructor told me this: if you're all in karate, or you do it, it's really hard. Shayla works, she's a black belt, and she teaches for me at my school. And I told my son the other day, my instructor when I was like 12, he told me, what other job can you have? People come in, they bow, say, yes, sir. You beat them up. Oh, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. They bow, and then they pay you. I was told that when I was 12, so I was thinking, man, what a good job. That sounds good. Hey, how you doing? Kick their butt. Thank you so much. No problem, dude. And then you get paid for it? That's a good job. And then also I wanted to play baseball. Yeah, I know. I wanted to play baseball, and my instructor said, you don't want to play baseball. I'm like, how come? He's like, why throw a ball when you can throw people? And I went, yeah, you're right. Baseball sucks. I'm just going to throw people. So he steered me and kept me in karate and kept me very interested. I remember I told him I wanted to leave because, you know, if you're in karate, you know you do things for your instructors. Oh, that's one thing I missed. I didn't include. They come in, they bow, they kick your butt. Then they clean the school for you, right? You clean the school like I did, clean the mirrors, clean the mats, and then you bow, and then you pay. So I was like, dang. So I was the one cleaning mats before and all that stuff. So it was one of those interesting jobs at the time. I remember I left and went, I told him I'm going to go. I wasn't getting paid, so I said, I'm going to go work for a company called Superior Fast Freight. And he's like, oh, you're going to work? Oh, you're going to load boxes? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to load boxes. That lasted for like 2 hours. I went there and they're like, hey, you. And I was thinking, me, dude? Do a push-up. That don't work here. But yeah, I load boxes for like 2 hours, and then I came back knocking on his door. Can I have my job back? I really like my job. I was trained with an organization called Red Dragon Karate at the time. Real huge schools. Red Dragon Karate had about 28 schools. I trained with the guy by the name of Chris Casamassa, who played Scorpion in a Mortal Kombat movie. My brother had a small, like, extra role in Mortal Kombat. So, of course, the little small extra role turned out to be like, hey, I'm the star of Mortal Kombat, you know? Let me show you the pictures, but I remember that. And then I remember he never asked me to be in Mortal Kombat. And then I was upset. Okay, anyway. I don't want to go there. It's like I'm in therapy. Yes. Question. With the red hair. Why does everybody look? Red hair? Yes. Well, I mean, I like the Green Ranger. You know, that was my favorite. I think because it was the first, and I was evil, and if I was gonna do another Power Ranger thing, I don't know. I'd do like Tattoo Rangers or something. We just like, you know, battle people, and then we get ink and talk about our problems. Then we go out and battle people more and stuff like that. So it'd be like Tattoo Rangers. Speaking of tattoos, there is a tattoo convention here. Yep. I think you all should get tattoos. We should all just get matching tattoos, every one of us. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you guys say too. Yep. Put a tattoo right there. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, yes, the Black Hat with the Orange Band. What's it like? Everyone asked that question. What's it like switching colors? For me, it was just switching color wardrobes. I'd come in one day, work, look in my closet the next day, and be like, oh, now I got white. Oh, now I got red. And then when I was the Red Ranger, I had to wear like loner stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I ain't wearing Austin stuff, shirt, pants. We had to like switch all the stuff around. Like, oh, you're the Red Ranger now, so we'll change this around a little bit. And I don't know if you all remember. I heard this last convention say, what was that guy? What was that guy's name that played in Power Rangers. They were trying to keep everybody in line. Richie, or what the Mexican guy that always dressed in red, Richie. They didn't put Richie there for me. I heard someone say that, oh, they put Richie there for Jason to be all scared. It wasn't for me. It was for the other guy. I think it was for Steve, I think, at the time. They put people there to make you stand in line, like a replacement person. Like if she was an actress, they'll put another actress kind of look like her in the same color, so she would think, well, if I better act up, then she's going to be the next person. I never had those backup people. I would have took them out in the bathroom. I said, excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't know where he's at. Where did he go? All right, well, action. So, anyway. Yes, in the back. Oh, that was the question that was asked earlier. But no, not with you. Shayla asked me that today. About fighting. We were watching fights in the room, the HD Net fights on there. Pete Spratt and a few other people. I love to fight. The only thing is I need to dedicate 8 weeks of silence, of nothing, training, appearances, and that's really hard for me to do. And the only reason I need to dedicate 8 weeks is because if something happens and something goes wrong, I need to tell myself that I've sincerely practiced for 8 weeks, gave it my heart, soul, and if I ever lost, which, I would take fairly, but I wouldn't if I trained for 2 or 3 weeks. And it's just right now I'd like to. I wanted to see if I can cut weight to 185, and it was really hard. I'm maintaining, trying to get a little bit lower, but but yeah, I'd like to again. But I had a fight offer August 17th, but that's the same time as Morphicon. So it just conflicts with my scheduling right now. I'm booked like Tennessee, Amarillo, New York, Mexico, Puerto Rico. There's just, I don't know when to fight. Yes, in the back right over there. Yes, you. Come on down. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. Oh, the mistletoe? The scene in the mistletoe? Oh, when Amy all freaked out? Oh, yeah. That's on a blooper that never made TV. But there was a mistletoe hanging on the... I always play pranks. So there was a mistletoe hanging on the door. And we're supposed to, do a scene. And she goes, oh, Tommy, give me a kiss. So, we were rolling the cameras, and I just pulled my pants down and stayed there in my underwear. And they were like, and cut. What are you doing? I was like, I don't know. What do you think I'm doing? I don't know. What you do? She was all freaked out. Everybody was freaked out. I wasted a lot of money on Power Rangers. I did. I wasted a lot of money. It was fun. Yes. Yeah, we were all friends, but I don't know if you had, when you have a new friend and then you hang around them all the time, and then you're kind of, all right, well, I'm going to go by myself here and kind of getting on my nerves, and I'm going to go here. We worked with each other for 16 hours a day. So we saw the good and we saw the bad. Because the good was every time we rolled, we all had Angel Grove, power cut. Shut up. It was like that. I mean, you have no time to kind of have real emotions. So we would roll, and then afterwards, so yeah, we're friends, but not like that. Not like, oh, me and Kimberly walking down the street, la la la, after that. No, not really. Yes. Thanks for being my translator too in the back. I just look to you every time, so I'm not being cross-eyed. Yes. Saban or Disney, who was worse to work for? I mean, I just did my job. Honestly, I think Saban, Haim Saban, is a very sharp, educated, cutthroat businessman. I learned a lot from Haim Saban. As far as being a person, that's different. On a business level, Haim's very smart. Disney, I don't really even know those people. I just went back there. I had fun on Dino Thunder, though, because all those guys were fans. So when I went back, it was like, oh, my God, you're Tommy. When I started the show, Tommy wasn't nothing. It just started it. You're Tommy. Who? So these guys were, really big fans. They grew up watching me, so I told them, shh, keep that on the down low. Don't make me feel too old. Ooh, big guy, I grew up watching you. Shut up, dude. You didn't grow up watching me nothing. Don't say I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was pretty fun on Dino Thunder. I had a good time. But to answer your question, they're both cheap. I did all right. I mean, I always did all right, but they're cheap. The little bird flew over Disney and Saban and went, cheap, cheap, cheap. Dumb joke. Cheap, cheap, like a cheap, chirp, chirp. No, never mind. All right, yes. Yes.
My training, I train for like about 2.5 to 3 hours a day. I've been more on a cardio kick right now, about 4 or 5 miles a day, and then been lifting weights a little bit more. But to, like I will space the meals out. Oh, I need a shake. Speaking of that, you have muscle milk? Anybody have muscle milk? I do. Well, I don't, but I didn't bring all my stuff. So anyway, answer your question. I'll try to eat like every 3 hours, but very small, like protein stuff. And then we went to a sushi restaurant. It's kind of weird today. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Like the sushi was weird today. Anyway, like the Veggie Tales, it was weird. And Ruth had a beard. And it felt weird. Yes.
Any other questions? Yes. I always liked martial arts. Forrest Griffin said it best. He loves punching people in the face, and it was just fun. But it's either you can beat somebody up in the ring legally, or you can go to Jerry Springer, and I really can't reach Jerry Springer, so I just decided to go into the cage. Jerry, yes. Morphin' time. It's morphin' time. All right, nothing happened. Darn. Is there someone in the back take the questions? No, there's just. You're filming it. YouTube it, baby. Iron Man. What was it again? How fun was it it was a lot of fun. I was in another country, so all the guys were cool. James was all right. I don't know what it is about color red, but he was all right. He kind of annoyed me a little. Sorry, James. Too bad. I said it. Other than that, though, it was fun. Kevin was fun. Jeff was fun. Yellow Ranger was fun. I got a problem with the Red Ranger. Sorry. Oh, well. Too bad, suckers. That's about it. Just being honest. I could lie and say, oh, you know what? I had a great time. It was just wonderful. I'm just being honest, truthful. Yes. No. Yeah. Translate. Oh, about fighting? I'm not too sure right now when I'm fighting next. I mean, I'm just trying to clear my schedule. I'm literally booked until September, and then I got Rhode Island, November, a few things in October. So I'm trying to, trying to reach out to the fans and stuff like that. We'll take it way in the back of the brown shirt. Okay, that one. The one you're all pointing to that I can't see. All right, we're going to have to translate. My translator's over there. Oh, a marriage proposal. Sorry, I'm already married. I can't even see her, dude. You're like this. Down here. Over here in the back. Yes, in the back over there with the hand up way over there. Translator. Oh, the new. Oh, whatever turn. Probably not. Saban's really because I talked to them and Jonathan and all that stuff, and Saban's kind of into branding their own. I mean, they're kind of branding their own stuff. They're like, well, Paul Schreier's the only one that looks 24, which, whatever. But they're kind of branding their own thing right now and kind of restarting it over again. I don't think Haim wants to bring the old people back because he's going to have to pay money. So I think a lot of them are union and we're union now and all that. So he's still running the show non-union, like hiding in another country. So that's probably why. Yes, Spider-Man. We did some of the helmet work in the very first season until we were like, forget this, man, get a stunt double. No, but most of the stuff was Japanese footage and all that. So anytime I'd have the helmet on, I would just put it on in the front and then take the helmet off. That's why my ponytail was always like, there. I mean, if it was wrapped, it'd be wrapped on top of my head. I'll be all sweaty. So we had to keep it clean. We had to like do this and then
Yes. You know, that's like Hollywood Kung Fu. Hollywood Kung Fu. Yes. In the back of the poster, or whatever it is. Some of my heroes growing up as a kid. I mean, I like Bruce Lee. I used to think the Knight Rider was pretty cool, you know, until I met David Hasselhoff. Then I didn't like him no more. And then, what else? Oh, I used to like the Incredible Hulk, like David Banner, walking around, growing into like green guy. And then I used to collect comic books a long time ago, the X-Men, and I used to like Wolverine when he first came out. I used to like Van Damme until I met him. That sounds like I'm really bad, gosh. What else? That's probably it. I mean, yeah, that's about it. Green Ranger with the helmet up. Nah, like, do we have to study the Japanese footage and stuff? We would watch the Japanese footage, and I think we'd get frustrated because there was more violence in that than we had. You know what I mean? So we thought it was really, like, way more cooler than the American version. So I think they stopped showing us, you know? They're like, oh, you guys can't watch that no more. So it was like, all right. And then we used to do table reads. We used to take it as very serious, like table reads and all that stuff. But after a while, it was like, our table reads were like, turning the script, okay, then you guys say this, and then battle, 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 battle. You grow, you get big, you win. So table reads really just didn't exist anymore, really. And then one time I had to say it's morphin' time, and Austin's like, that's my line! Morphin' time's my line! I was like, dang, chill out, dude. You can say that if you want. Jeez. But yeah, that was about the end of our table reads. In the first season, we were really serious about it, but then after a while, that's about it. Yes. The VR Trooper show? What is about VR Troopers? Huh? Oh, I don't know. You know, do you guys understand syndication and network? If you guys don't, like, I really, at that time, really didn't understand. There's probably a lot of people that don't. Syndication is like up for bid. So whatever network, you could buy it. Like if you're channel 11, channel 55, it's up for bid, which means that it comes around the world different times. You might have it here at 6, and you might have 2 o'clock over here. It's very hard to track. It's very hard to get ratings. It's very hard to make money that way. Ours was a network show. So around the world, it was all pretty much the same time. You didn't have to chase us. You didn't have to see us. So it was like at that time, either stay in, you know, network or syndicated. Once I understood that the definition of syndicated and network, I did want to stay on VR Troopers because I filmed right next door, and I had like my own stage, and I was like, no. I did want to stay, but then after a while, when the Power Ranger movie came out, Brad Hawkins, who played VR Troopers, he was going to replace me as the White Ranger, and then I found out we're doing like a big $80 million movie, so then I kind of was hoping to kind of switch, and that's what we did. They hired Brad originally for the White Ranger. He was going to be there. He was going to be the White Ranger. And then I was stuck next door at VR Troopers. So I was thinking, that kind of sucks. I want to do the Power Ranger movie. Then they swapped at that time. Switched me. Brad went over there. I went to Power Rangers, which I think was a great switch for me. You know what I mean? So they sold VR Troopers based off my pilot. So 60% of the world was sold off. Jason Frank, Green Ranger, most popular TV show. He's blah, blah. So everyone bought. Then they switched characters on the networks. Once you bought it, it's like no refunds. So that's what they did, is used me kind of. And it would have sold anyway. I'm not saying because of me it sold. It was a lot easier to sell that based off a Power Ranger who was popular to another look-alike Power Ranger show. And the VR Troopers picture, if you look at the Green Ranger box, there's a picture of me in a leather jacket, like in red, like that's a VR Trooper photo shot that we did a Photoshop for VR Troopers, a photo shoot. So they used that picture on the Green Ranger box. So yeah, that's a VR Trooper picture, but no one knows, you know. So except me, so I know. Now you all know. So in the back, yes. The philosophy behind martial arts, or
How did I take that into the TV show?
well, I adapted the martial arts into the TV show on the the Green Ranger kata and the White Ranger kata informational videos. I did that, and then a lot of the martial arts codes they did understand where I came from. Red Dragon had a lot of codes, like codes of the dragons, like brotherhood, dedication, respect, cooperation, discipline, confidence, attitude, self-respect. So we had all those codes. So Saban started doing like public service announcements. Hey, maybe we should do like, don't beat someone up type of campaign. But understand, they were all businessmen. So I really don't think it was just a business thing. Like smoking, like we need to tell people that smoking's bad and will kill you, so we're good. It was that type of thing. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, okay, well, we're really going to tell you that smoking's bad, so you don't buy our product. It wasn't like that. We had to do public service announcements because there was a kid in Canada who died or something, and they sent me on the interview. They said, well, who can handle interviews? I can handle interviews. I can handle interviews really well. Well, they sent me in this interview, and the first word came out of that reporter's mouth is, so how do you guys feel about killing that kid in Canada? And of course, I'm a talker, and we didn't kill him. I mean, violence was created before the TV cameras anyway. And we can't be blamed for someone acting out as this stuff. It's like one of those things, Eminem made me do it. Eminem didn't make you do nothing. He just plays music. So it was one of those things where we're getting blamed for stuff like that. And so we had to do public service announcements just to cover us, because I'm the one that was taking the blame for it, us as the actors. Also, when the bombing went out in, where's the bombing that long time ago? I should know. Yeah, Oklahoma City, people were like, excuse me, sir, how come you all didn't save the bombers? And how come you didn't do this? And how come you didn't? So Saban was like, man, we got to tell the kids that they're kind of not real kind of thing, because we're getting blamed for everything. And like, how do you really answer those questions like that? How do you answer a question when you're up in front of 1,000 kids and you're doing an anti-drug program and a kid raises their hand and says, excuse me, sir, is smoking a drug? And you say yes, and they go, well, then my mom and dad they do drugs. And I know so I have to cover that to say this, smoking's a bad habit. It's easier to break the habit. How many times does someone smoke and say, you should never do this? So it is. So I told the kids constantly remind their parents, their uncles, their aunts, whoever's smoking, that smoking's bad for them, and it could cause them serious injuries. Can smoking kill you? Yes. Oh, my mom's gonna die. So you have to understand all the questions I'm being asked in front of all these people. So I have to have answers to the questions. So when we were doing like interviews about people dying, people doing this, people doing that, I had to have all the answers, because I didn't want to be like, so that's why we started doing public service announcements, started saying, Power Rangers bad, you could get punched in the face, warning type of thing. But we did teach kids not to do karate at school, but I mean, that's why I was an actor that said all the kids need to be involved in martial arts. If the kids were involved in martial arts, it's not dangerous. The only danger part is when your kid is not involved in karate, they see all the stuff on TV, then they start doing it. So they're like, well, we don't want to sign up our kid because karate's dangerous. Wrong. You need to sign them up so they understand the philosophy of karate, which talked about the philosophy of bringing the philosophy into the show. So that was my take on it. I was a professional martial artist. I own schools. So Saban listened to me all the time. In fact, they wanted to do this branding martial arts schools and wanted me to lead it. They wanted to do Power Ranger karate across the country and have me lead all these schools and all this other stuff. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to just base it off Power Ranger karate. There's more philosophy into karate than just Power Ranger karate. So I turned it down. So it was one of those things. Yes. I don't count my tattoos anymore. I used to. Now I do like body percentage. So I'm probably about 65% ink covered, 68.24, something like that. To answer your question, one big one. That's about it. Yes. Oh, how that came about, Dino Thunder. I was, doing my own business, doing everything, and then Doug Sloan was a friend of mine. He called me and asked if I could do a favor because the ratings were dropping, and they needed to save their job, so they wanted to pull out some kind of like something in the hat to be like, oh, Power Rangers is back. So that's how they came and approached me to do it. At that time, I had like, see, I left the show. I didn't get fired. A lot of those guys did. I left the show. And it was one of those things where, you know, I mean, how many years can you run in spandex, you know? So, yeah, you guys are like, spandex, spandex. It's cold. I was in the pool. I'm just kidding. So anyway, you know, it was one of those things where I decided to leave and then stuff like that. So it was just my choice to leave. I forgot the question because I have ADD. So, yeah, next. 5 hours don't help either. Yes. My favorite villain? I just liked Ivan Ooze, not because of him, because he was the Raiders of the Ark, or Raiders of the, what is it? Huh? Raiders of the Lost Ark, whatever. He was that guy with the thing in his eye in the movie. That was Paul Freeman. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, cool, we actually get to work with like some real actors. This is awesome. So he was my favorite villain, Freeman, whatever his name is. So Ivan Ooze. And he was funny because he was so short, but his heels were like this big. If you see him walking, he's like almost tripping over every time. Because he has to be bigger than us, because when we were there, it was like this big. So we're like, yeah, we're the Power Rangers, to look weird. So they had to put him on like, let me get my, had to make him big. So that's my favorite villain. Yes, in the red. Amy's from America, Catherine's from Australia. And the height. Amy was short though. Like all my film, like I had to like stand up. How tall are you? So like it was like this big, and all my things I had to go like this. See the camera, and I had to like bend down, and then I had to walk out of the scene like this all the time. Or they had to put her on apple boxes, stand her on apple boxes, so she was short. So yeah, the height difference too. That was the difference. Yes. Yes. Bud Light or Corona? Probably Bud Light has less calories. That's about it. Or Bud 55 because it only has 55 calories. So you figure if you're on a diet of 1,500 calories, think how many Bud 55s you can have. 1,500 calories is it. Everyone's going to be like, dang, dude, that Green Ranger picture of that one where he's like this on the bar, remember? And he's all passed out drinking someone sent that to me. That was funny. Huh? Yeah, that was funny. Yes. Dude, this is PG-13. You're thinking Porno Rangers. I'm thinking Power Rangers. You're the producer of it's morphin' time, baby. How would you like me to morph in your mouth and not in your hand? Yes. I don't know, dude. Girlfriend on the show? Whatever was on paper. I think they made Tommy kind of hoish. You know, went from one girlfriend to another girlfriend. It's like, dude, calm down. I'm supposed to be in high school. I'm like switching girls all the time. So, anyway. Tommy's a hoe. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. No, in Houston, like, I think everybody in Houston, where we're from, always says, like, JDF, you know, stuff. They will say, you know, I mean, we're there today, and how many people, like, see me, but they don't say nothing, and then they're like, I just keep walking forward, or they're like, you know, they don't say hi or nothing, but they're like, you know, but I can understand. I did something like that before, too. I'm not going to lie. I was on the airplane. I probably never told you. I was on the airplane to film the Power Ranger movie, and LL Cool J was there, you know, and I like LL Cool J. So, like, I sat behind him, and I just kept saying, Mama said knock you out. I'm going to knock you out, you know? That song, I was just like, damn, I'm, like, pretty stupid, but I'm going to do it again. Mama said knock you. He was just like, anyway, but I did that stuff, too. And then Gene Simmons was on the same airplane when he came to sit, you know, Kiss, you know, the music group. I didn't know him when he came to set. Well, I didn't know him without his makeup, all right? So when he came to set, they're like, this is so-and-so, and do you know him? And I'm not knowing. He's just like, I was like, dude, he's a creeper, dude. What does he want? He is sticking his tongue out to me. Do you know me now? See, there's the Power Ranger thing again. That's like, he was so creepy. That's like someone doing a porno going, oh, you don't recognize me? Now do you? You recognize me now? Anyway, so I didn't know who he was, so he was on the airplane too. But I did say, Mama said knock you out. But people do that. They don't say nothing. They're like, beep, 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 beep. Then I play it off and stuff. Hello. And they're like, oh, shh. Look at. Let's do it again. Deet, deet, deet. Zordon, is it? You can? Okay. And then it's funny, then I try to teleport in the elevator, and I'm just like this. Yep. Then I don't think they want to talk to me, because then they think I'm a creeper. They're like, never mind, I said that. Then I bug them. Yeah, then I scare them. Huh? Oh, he's scaring you on the way to the panel? I said, Green Ranger sucks. I did that to Melanie one time when she was doing my line. She was like, everybody get in the back. Get in the back. Hurry, because she's from the Navy. Get over here. Line up. And I said to the back, shut up. Make me shut up. It was me. It's funny. I like messing with people like that. Hey, the coolest thing is, though, this is funny. I was building, no, I never told the story either. I was building my California school because I believe like building a school is good luck. When I put hard sweat in, I build my school. Well, I didn't know how to build, so someone was building, so I kind of like played it off like I was building it. I really just like took a hammer and I had a hat on and I said, all right, dude, take a picture. Like that, so it looked like I was building it, you know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, look, I built. Well, this guy came in. If James ever watching, James Pistol is his name, he'd probably be like, he remembers me. He came in and I had a hat on, and he's like, what's going on in here? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Some karate school, I'm hammering this stuff. I said, I don't know, dude. Some stupid Power Ranger, some gay Power Ranger coming in. You know, and I wanted to see what he would say, and it would have been bad if he was like, yeah, Power Rangers are gay. But he was like, oh, no, who's coming? Oh, Power Rangers, no, they're awesome. And I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. That White Ranger, I'll kick this, you know. And he's just like, oh, no, he's a real martial artist. So he, like, stuck up for me and kept defending me. Then I was like, yeah, you're pretty cool, man. It was like undercover boss. You're in, so he worked for me for a while. I was just waiting to hear something, you know. I was like, come on, say something. I got a hammer in my hand, and I'm not afraid to use it. Say something. Anyway, James Pistol. Yes, in the green. Everybody's like, green? Yes, green. Do my laugh? All right. All right, hold on. Oh, I can't. My lungs hurt. That's it. Look, that must be Tommy smoking. I don't smoke, but anyway, my lungs, they do hurt today. Cold weather. Yes. Oh, video games? I don't. My son sells, like, he plays video games, but then he was telling me, man, I'm hustling. I'm like selling something, like buying things or something from the games and then like turning around and selling the points or something like that. I don't know. I don't understand. But I was with my son Hunter, and somebody talked about having like a wine, like a gold wine thing or something that's worth like so many points in like RuneScape or something like that. They were like offering to buy it, and I was like, what are they talking about? They're like, video games. It's like I'm selling this or that. I don't know. I don't have a lot of time. You know what though? I enjoy a good game of like Pac-Man, old school. You know, the old stuff, like the little tanks in Atari. You know, the joysticks. And then I did play with Jenna, my daughter. I did play the Power Ranger. I did record it. I did buy her the Nintendo and the White Ranger video. You know, that's me. She loved playing that game. She thought it was cool. She's like, well, I'm going to be you. I'm like, all right, I'll be this guy. So it was pretty fun. We're running around and like, you know, killing people. The graphics suck, but it's all right. She don't know any different. No, I'm not asking you questions no more, dude. I'm just kidding. Hold on, let me get. Yes. Well, I sure in the heck didn't like, I may be old, but I can still pull this off. I was like, that's a stupid line, dude. Anyway, what I like about the Black Power Ranger, that I was like a doctor. It's like, Dr. Oliver, yes. So now I do play, well, I was a doctor, but only on TV. It was all right. I think Australia was fun, and the cast was fun, and yeah, it was pretty good. Yes. Like the costumes, why they're rubbery costumes and stuff. Yeah, we just couldn't. It was an $80 million budget. They couldn't use spandex. They wanted to better it, but then they took the visors, all that junk stuff. They just spent so much money on that. We just were like, whatever, dude. So it was. We were just looking at each other like, you look stupid, dude. Well, you look stupid too. It doesn't matter, dude. You're in blue. I'm in white. So, but we joke around with each other all the time and had the visors out. Reshot the heck out of that movie. Hired a Dulcia. Rehired the Dulcia. It was just one. We did like one page a day in Hollywood. Like on the TV show, we shot 10 pages of stuff. In the movie, we did like one. So imagine me on set filming like 1 minute a day. That's all we filmed. So I had a lot of stuff going on, pranks and joking around and working out. And, there was a blowhole in Australia, like this big giant blowhole that blew out water. And we were waiting for a scene where like me and Kimberly are like, oh yeah, I forgot what I said. I sound funny in the movie, like, oh yeah, we're going to be all right, whatever. So we're waiting for this thing, and they were waiting forever for this water to come behind us for the shot. Oh, let's wait for the blowhole. I'm like, dude, there's nothing coming out of there. Like, for the longest time, we're there like hours. That's all right, we'll wait. And so I had a $5,000 mic on. The guy's like, well, this is a real expensive mic. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had the microphone, my hair was all done. If you knew, I had to like flat iron I was worse than a girl, dude. My call times were before girls. Flat iron my hair and all this other stuff. So I decided to look in the blowhole. Like I wanted to see what was coming out of the blowhole. There was nothing for hours, but that's my luck, right? So I walk up and I'm like, man, there's nothing. They're like, oh, don't look in the blowhole. I'm like, dude, nothing's come out for 2 hours. So I walked up to the blowhole and then I heard, and I was just like, no, oh, shoot. And it just went, and I slipped. The microphone broke. My hair was all wet. Costume was all wet. And they just looked at me and said, we told you not to look in the hole. Hey, you can't put a piece of paper down and tell me, it says, do not look under this piece of paper. It's like, you want to look under it. It's one of those things. Don't look in the blowhole. Too bad. We were in Kiama. It was like 113 degrees out there. We got fried out there in Kiama. Yes. Just, of course, me, dude. I would win. Dr. Oliver. All right. All right, let's get someone who hasn't asked a question yet. All right, the guy behind the Black Ranger, behind Walter Jones right there. Zach. No, yeah, that's Zach right there, and the black dude. Look, the black dude right in front of you. The black dude with the black Power Ranger, that's Zach. I don't want to say the Black Ranger because he's black, but that's him, dude, right there. Go ahead. That's your question. What? Oh yeah, you know what? Everyone asks me, I want to be a fighter, or I want to do this, I want to do that. I think I tell Shayla the same thing. She tests for second. You just got to do it. Best slogan, Nike. Just do it. Keep training. Keep learning as much as you can. People want to know, be an actor. Do the work first. So if you ever get an opportunity or a chance comes your way, you can actually pull it off. You know what I mean? Everything takes a lot of hard work. You just got to put your time into it. Train and train and train. People that are in martial arts, that are like brown belts turn to black belts or whatever, they know at one time you hear so many people come into the school and say, I want to be a black belt. I want to be a black belt. But there's time into that black belt. It takes a lot of dedication, hard work, discipline. Discipline mostly. Because as busy as we are, sometimes we fall off and we don't do it and stuff like that. So I would just say train, and do the best you can. That'd be my advice. My ears hurt. Yes, in the back. No, the other Walter behind you. Translate. Best moment? When I get my paycheck? No, I'm just kidding. When I bought my first house? No. Best moment? of being a ranger was probably in that children's hospital when those kids were dying. And I had my helmet off just like these guys, and we were seeing kids that were dying. Their last wish was to see us. That's probably the best moment of being a Power Ranger. Forget all the TV stuff, Hollywood stuff, all that. Didn't matter. At that point, it was like, really? Like, these kids are like, you know, seriously ill, and their last wish is to see me or see the guys. That's a priceless moment that you can't take back. So beyond buying this, buying that, filming and funny stuff, that was probably my best, but that was probably my hardest moment of all times in my whole Power Ranger career. All the Rangers were behind the wall, pretty much, you know, tearing up, crying, and then we had to like shake it off and go out there, you know. So we constantly have to do that. You know, being a superhero, you can't show weakness. Like I teach my black belts, we don't get sick. I can because I'm the owner and I have employees, but they can't. You know? So, anyway. Yes. And the Power Rangers? A favorite actor, like Power Ranger people? I don't know. I didn't look at the guys like actors, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy them as like friends and stuff like that. So, you know, we didn't really work with a lot of big actors. That's why when Paul Freeman came on, I was like, oh, he actually did something, dude. That's awesome. Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we didn't work with a lot of people. We worked with guest directors. And the funniest guest director was probably Priscilla Presley's boyfriend, Elvis Presley's ex-wife's boyfriend or husband at the time. And he was really wearing blue suede shoes. I'm not even lying. You know, you could do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes. Elvis's wife, her boyfriend or husband, Marco, he came and I was like, dude, he's wearing blue suede shoes. Everyone's like, shut up. I'm like, he is. They're like, oh, he really is wearing blue suede shoes. So to fill Elvis's shoes, he wore blue suede shoes. And thank you for that laugh. I'd like to say hello to my one fan. I'll be here all night. But yeah, working with guest directors like that and stuff like that, it was pretty interesting. I've met a lot of people on the show. Mark McGuire, you all follow baseball? I did a show called, I don't know, probably a Warner Brothers show called Migo or something. It was just like a guest spot called Migo. I've never seen it. I don't know if it aired. Did it? It was Union, so I did Migo. And this little kid that was in Jerry Maguire, you know, the kid with glasses? That wanted to meet Mark McGuire. That's when Mark was on a cover of like GQ magazine and all that stuff. I don't know people. So he came up and they're like, oh, that's Mark McGuire. And I'm thinking, I just thought Jerry Maguire because the movie, because that little kid. So I start thinking Jerry Maguire. So he comes up and he's like, how's it going? I was like, good, man. Nice to meet you. And he's like, and they're like, you know who this is? He plays ball. And I'm like, oh, cool. Professional ball? Or, you know, he was like, looked at me like I was an idiot. And then after I found out who he was, that was a pretty stupid question. So now people come to set, I don't even assume it. Big, tall, black guys, I know they, like, there's a basketball. Oh, yeah, basketball guy. Oh, yeah, stick your tongue out again. You must be Gene Simmons. I've met so many people on set. Demi Moore's little girl used to call me all the time. I don't know how old she is. She's probably old now. Rumor used to call me all, like, used to have actors, kids call all the time up there. And then Metallica, like, I don't know, it could be just like probably a creeper on the other end, but he was like, the drummer of Metallica was in love with the Pink Power Ranger. So, of course, I sold her out. You know, I was like, all right, look, dude, if you give me some tickets to the show, you know, I'll put her on the phone and all. I'm like, Amy, you got to talk. She's like, what? I'm like, Metallica, dude, I'm going to get tickets. So she'd be like, hello. She had more people contact her from prison than anybody I've ever seen in my life. Prison people. So I'd sell her out. Metallica tickets. Who else? Who else is on the phone? You want to talk to Pink Ranger? What we got, man? What we got? Let's talk. Yep. Yes, in the back.